I've been asked to talk about the experience we had in selling our house. It was actually an amazing experience. We had lived in this house for more than 40 years. We raised our kids in the house. It was a house that we loved. It was in a community we loved, but it needed a whole lot of work. And we got to thinking about selling it. And actually, more than wanting to sell it, we got to wanting to move, because we had our eye on a retirement community that we really wanted to go to, and we had an opportunity to make a very good buy there if we could sell the house quickly. Over the last 2 or 3 years, we'd had a couple of realtors in to look at the house for us and give us an idea of what it would sell for. And they scratched their heads and said, you know, there's a lot of work that has to be done here. And I would say, yes, but what if we want to sell it as is? And they gave me a price for as is that I thought was lower than I wanted to sell the house for. So we didn't do anything. But when we got around to wanting to actually make the move, we had gotten a letter the year before from this company saying, we'd like to buy your house. And the letter was worded in a way that made us think that they might give us a fairly fair offer. So we called and had folks come out and take a look at it, and they had a really positive response to the house. They liked the things about the house that we liked. It was kind of a quirky house. In fact, when we bought the house 40 years ago, our realtor, I fell in love with it, and our realtor said, you really want to buy this? You know, it'd be hard to sell. And I said, sell? But 40 years later, I had the sense that Jack had been right. It was going to be hard to sell because it was a quirky house. But they loved it, and Michelle said to me, you know, what do you need? And I gave her a figure, and my daughter said, why did you give them the figure? Let them make a bid. I said, well, I gave her a figure because that's what I needed, and it was more than what I'd been told I could sell it for. And lo and behold, Joe came out and looked at the place and said, I'll see if I can make it work, and he made it work. So we sold the house and walked away with $50,000 or $60,000 more than we had thought we were going to, and we didn't have any hassle. And they promised us that they were going to love the house and turn it into something really nice. And you know, there was a little question about that. Maybe they're just talking to us and they'll just kill it. But we have now watched the house being rebuilt, and by golly, they're turning it into exactly what we had wanted to turn it into if we had had the money. And we and our kids go by every once in a while and sneak into the construction site and see what they're doing, and it's turning out to be beautiful, and they've kept the basic floor plan and kept things about it that we liked. And our old neighbors have said they've really enjoyed watching the house get sort of torn down to basics and then built back up. So it was a really, really good experience, and we have recommended to several of our friends who said, how do I sell my house? We've given them Joe's card and said, you know, these are good folks to work with because they give you something. They offered us a price that was more than we thought we could get, and a price that was low enough that I think they'll make a good profit in the end. But it's not like flipping the house. It's taken them 8 months to reconstruct the house. They didn't just throw paint on it. They've really rebuilt it. And it'll be someplace that another family can raise their 2, 4, 6 kids in over the next 40 years and really enjoy it. So it was a great experience, and we were able to make a buy in a retirement community that we just love. So it worked out really well for everybody.